This is kind of like a sequel episode. I had not started any of Mr. Jim Butcher, and I have, and I've just finished A Full Moon, which dealt with a lot of loup-garoux.
That was the third one, right?
Second one. I hope it's the second one. Because and I have
judging us.
I have just
totally
downloaded the third one. And I don't know the name of the third one, but yeah.
Look it up. Get it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. There are. I think there's 16 now.
Yes, Beck.
Or
Jim Butcher. What is the series?
The Dresden Files.
It's Grave Peril. Yeah.
Grave Peril. Oh,
Grave Peril.
Is it a pun?
I mean, Full Moon wasn't much of a pun already.
Okay, so Grave Peril is number 3, and that's vampires. Yes, so it starts out very genre hoppy.
Okay.
And I heard someone say, I don't know where I learned this, but Jim Butcher was in a writing class, and he was writing all this esoteric, crazy stuff. Like
good word.
He has this other series that it's been hard for me to get into. That's like the Aeronaut Spyglass, I think is what that series is called. Anyway, and that one's like crazy high magic. He kept getting shit from his professor, and he was like, oh, fine, I'll write the crap that you want me to write. Here you go. And
Don't tell me that's what this is.
It was Dresden Files, and they were like, this, whatever this basic bitch version of you is, this is what people want. This can get published, and that's what happened.
So you're saying James Marsters says this so crap? It's all crappy, but it's just so warm and nice when he talks about things in sepia tone.
It's so good. Now, James Marsters, who's Spike from Buffy, does the audiobooks.
English American accent.
No. I know. I'm just like, I can. Yeah.
There are Venetian blinds on him when he's recording, and there's definitely a cigarette in an ashtray.
Oh yeah.
It's very like
because that's the character.
Yeah, it's detective noir, but with supernatural stuff.
A fireplace somewhere.
His computer's name's Bob, who's a skull with glowy eyeballs. Who's great.
I love that you called him a computer.
He's a computer.
He is a spirit intellectus that lives inside of a skull.
Yeah. Then he asks him, like, tell me how to make this potion. And then he figures it out. Like, he looks up stuff.
It's Google.
It's a computer.
Actually,
because he can't use
the supernatural Google.
And I like the magic system they have involved there. Like, there's like, to me, it feels like it's a middle of the way. It's not hard. It's not too light or soft. Where it's like wizards and electronic technology does not work. But also, like, based on the magic that you have within you could expend it. You know, there's certain items that can make it better. So, like, the blasting rod, staff. I was like, okay, I like
Is that his stick with all the carving in it?
Yeah.
The only thing I know about the Dresden Files
is Paul Blackthorne.
No, not even that. My a friend of mine, Matthew Murback, who I haven't seen in a very long time, did a fan series of the Dresden Files a long time ago.
But they didn't call Becca?
And I remember seeing the pictures of him in this long trench coat, and he had the staff.
Yes.
And he had like, I forget if there's like a scar or something on the face too.
On the book covers, but not necessarily in the narrative.
Yeah. I haven't read that.
I think he did the book cover version, and they did like a full on like special effects. But this was like long ago.
How do I watch this?
It has to be somewhere on the internet. Like, it must be somewhere.
I will find it.
I will find you.
Oh, Matthew. I'm coming to watch.
Yeah, no, it's somewhere out there. But yeah.
I will find it.
Find you.
And so I brought it up because I have to ask. So I started listening to the audiobook because of you and other friends, and everyone's like, oh, it's so good. What are your thoughts? Because Jim Butcher sometimes, or at least the character of Dresden, Harry
Copperfield, Blackstone, Dresden,
named after magicians,
Mm-hmm.
is a little, the way that her cute cheerleader face. I was like, I get it, man. She's a cutie. Like he gets he's a little
creep, pervy,
and I'm like, I don't know. And so knowing that you listen to it, I'm like, what are your thoughts?
I'm so hot for Dresden. I just feel things. Okay. I mean, when you get into Susan,
I know Susan, and they had that night together. And the curves and
so much.
Was she tied up at this night?
No.
Okay, well, you just keep listening.
Okay, so that's okay. So I had to look at the cover again. I was expecting like a Fabio with like a woman in a curtain, being like carried by this man, and
No, he's like, I haven't been laid in 10 years.
Oh my.
But this woman's
was like-
sensual curves.
it was like
no.
she pushed me down on the bed and then walked to the bathroom and the lights flickered. She came out full breast. I was like, oh. Like I was at work. I was like, I don't. Can people?
In SFW.
Are people allowed to hear this? And so I was like, oh, and so I was just like, this feels like a
It's like watching some animes and you're like,
I was just like, is this how it is to like read an erotic now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it definitely goes there. And honestly, I really like Brandon Sanderson Mistborn series. But I know he's a very Christian person, which is cool. I need people to get laid more in his books. There's just once Vin wakes up
frustration.
with with what's his name?
The rich dude?
The rich dude, Elliot, but it's not that. Elland. Yeah, Vin and Elland wake up in a tent and his hand brushes her bare back, and that was the most you got in the entire 3-book series. And they are
like
long
those scenes
books.
where you go, kiss him!
Kiss him!
Kiss him!
Yeah.
I just started it, so that was a little bit of a spoiler, but it's fine.
Oh no!
I just started the first book.
I'm
and
so
I
sorry.
ended it. It's okay. I think it's a great story.
I really should have warned you.
Well, she also haven't given you the context of what's happening.
Well,
at that
Ellen
time.
was like this rich guy, and she was like going in undercover and all that stuff, and it was like, I'm starting to like the posh life, and I was like, don't you? He's a rich guy. This guy.
Don't
But
you-
then he becomes like.
Don't you? No. Don't you always
I
say?
don't- I don't care about
I don't care about spoilers. I just care about how it unfolds. So you're
He
still going
only
to see
says
how it
that
unfolds.
when
Wow,
I don't want him to talk about
I
something
mean,
from 30 years ago.
Yeah, that might be like way deep in the series.
that's
now
way
that
deep?
I think about it. It's been
Well, now we know he survives, so that's okay.
or not. I don't know.
Maybe
in
it's
my
a
life,
Maybe it was
do
one
I
of those-
remember?